What's up everybody, I'm JP Destiny and I do football content done right. Today we're doing the one player I'm watching on every top World Cup team. So, we're going to start with Spain. It's important to note that for the first time in history, this Spanish national team at the World Cup will feature no Real Madrid players. The player that I'll be watching the most closely is winger Lamine Yamal, who starred for Spain during their Euro 2024 title run at just 16 years old. He's the most exciting young player in the world, with amazing dribbling, vision, and shooting, which we saw with his goal against France in the Euro semis, a beautiful curler. The next country I'm going over is France. They're the joint favorites for the World Cup title along with Spain. Looking at France, you can easily tell that it's the deepest World Cup squad, with so many different options to choose from, all world class. The player I'll be watching the most is winger Michael Olise, who's firmly established himself in the top winger conversation this past season at Bayern. His nonchalant style of dribbling is such a joy to watch, and I'll be watching him very closely. The next team we're doing is England. This is a super deep squad, as we can see from Cole Palmer being left out. For England, I'm going with midfielder Declan Rice. At West Ham, he was their defensive midfield anchor, and on Arsenal, he's become more of a box-to-box player, and I have no doubt that Tuchel will be relying on him heavily to bring the World Cup trophy home. Next, moving on to Germany. This is a very exciting team. The player I'm thinking of is attacker Lennart Karl. He's 18 years old, 5'6", and has already earned comparisons to Messi. He caught my eye after his performance for Bayern Munich against Arsenal, where he scored Bayern's only goal in their 3-1 loss to Arsenal. Now, Portugal. We all know that this is Ronaldo's last World Cup. Even though he stated in that Piers Morgan interview that the World Cup wasn't a dream for him, we all know it absolutely is. Other than Ronaldo though, the one player I'm watching on this Portuguese team is Nuno Mendes. He is such a great and modern left back. With his speed, he's able to bring the ball up the pitch while tracking back quickly onto defense. Now, after talking about Portugal, it only makes sense that we go to Argentina. They're the defending champions, and they have Messi, who's also in his last World Cup. Again, other than Messi, I'll be looking at striker Julian Alvarez. He's had a great season at Atletico Madrid, scoring 10 goals in the Champions League to help them to the semi-finals. Reportedly, Atletico Madrid are not willing to sell him for less than £150 million. Alvarez is known for his very good finishing, and he also presses very hard, contributing defensively instead of just waiting for the ball. On to another South American powerhouse, Brazil. We talked about Ronaldo, we talked about Messi, now Neymar. For Neymar, this is his last World Cup too. This was a very shocking inclusion, as Neymar has not played a competitive game for Brazil since October 2023. His reaction to the call-up was so touching, and I wish him all the best. While Neymar isn't in form like players like Gabriel Magalhaes, Rafinha, and Vini Jr., his flair and energy are unmatched, and he's the one I'm pulling for the most on this Brazilian team. The next country is the Netherlands. They're led by center-back Virgil van Dijk. Van Dijk is the one Dutch player that I'm paying attention to most at the World Cup, as his prime years were unmatched, and his leadership, physicality, and positioning are still top tier, and strike fear into every striker. Next, we're looking at Norway. The obvious and maybe only reasonable pick is Haaland, who's making his World Cup debut next month. Haaland has just been smashing Premier League scoring records and has proven that he will deliver if he gets service. Next, we have the US men's national team, and I'm sure we're all looking forward to what the host nation can do. My US player is easily forward Christian Pulisic, Captain America, the face of American soccer. He had a great first half of the season on AC Milan, though he lost form early into 2026. He's a great scorer, playmaker, and a very unselfish captain. He's highly intelligent in off-the-ball movement, which we witnessed last World Cup, as Pulisic was constantly involved in the US goals and plays. So far, we've only looked at European and American teams, but how about the top African team, Morocco? They're the reigning AFCON champions, known for their obsession with towels, which hopefully has cooled off a bit. The player I'm watching is Real Madrid star Brahim Diaz, who carried Morocco to the recent AFCON finals playing primarily on the right wing. While we all remember his failed Panenka after the drama in the finals, Morocco wouldn't have gotten to that point without his exceptional playmaking and finishing. I have no doubt he'll show up again for Morocco this time around. And finally, I'm going over the most exciting Asian team, Japan. They're known for their tendency to pull off upsets, like their 1-0 win over England at Wembley in a friendly on March 31st. They topped their group at the 2022 World Cup, beating both Spain and Germany, while somehow losing to Costa Rica. They're led by Liverpool midfielder Wataru Endo, who has been Japan's longtime captain. We'll be seeing him involved in almost everything on the pitch during Japan's matches, and I'm excited to see what upsets Japan will pull off this World Cup. Okay, now I've shared my picks, but I want to hear yours down in the comments below. Also, please consider liking and subscribing for the very best football content. JP Destiny out.